Good morning, guys. I am so excited to be here with the Needles Military Moms. Wow. Wow. Veterans Day was coming up, and I was like, I know who we need to go see. So this doesn't happen just magically. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. Let's really start with what year you guys started in and really kind of your why and what got you to start the Military Moms.
All right. Well, we started in May 2022, and Donna had the idea that we should honor our hometown heroes. We have so many kids that we watched grow up, including our own, go into the military, and Donna wanted to showcase that with the great banners that we have around town.
So let's talk about your own. Who do you have in the military and your why?
My daughter Riley is in the Air Force. She went in, she went in 2019, and so she's been in for quite some time now. She's went through the Air Force Academy there, and
I'm sure it was the proud moment of like, hey mom, I want to go into the military, and the, oh my gosh, you're going into the military.
Yeah, well, she was 17. She was 17, so I know. Yeah. So she turned 18 when she was at basic training there, and that was an emotional time that we couldn't be with her, and we couldn't even tell her happy birthday because when they're basic training, they read the letters and all that. So I wrote her a letter on her birthday, and I just drew flowers on there. So that was hard. It was hard. She went to basic training in Colorado, and all of the training that she did in Needles didn't correlate to the altitude at Colorado Springs.
Oh, I bet.
So she had a hard time there, but it was the best thing for her. We're so grateful for that experience that she had at the Air Force Academy, and now she's doing her duty now in Texas and enjoying it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about you? What got you started on this journey?
Well, I've come a long line of military family. My husband is a combat vet, a lot of uncles from Vietnam. I've always just admired it. But very specifically, the day I dropped my daughter off at MEPS, I came home and listening to the radio, $1 million paid superstar wouldn't stand for the national anthem. And he was sponsored by this certain company. I went home and proceeded to burn like everybody was doing, burning the shoes, burning the product, that kind of thing. But looking back, I was processing my daughter, my empty nest. I couldn't, like Lindsey said, you can't just call them. My other two went to college, and I couldn't just call her when I wanted to. I didn't even know how she was doing, and it was a lot to process. Yeah. So I wanted to turn that energy into something positive, and that's when I started thinking. I want to throw a shout out to Cindy Farrell, who does the Tri-State Military Moms, who does the banners, and I was like, I would love to have that for our hometown.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I hit up Lindsey because she is an awesome business person.
Please help!
Yes, I need Lindsey's skills. And so we started talking and decided this would just be something we really wanted to do. Well, and that's what led me there.
You're a few years in now.
And I didn't want other moms to burn all of their shoes. I wanted to include them in putting that energy into serving breakfasts, putting the banners up, fundraisers, wherever they need us to do things together as a group. Or hey, even just call us if you're just having a really bad day or you're worrying about your kid. We understand.
Yeah.
We're there for you. We want to post your kids. We want to brag about them because this is huge. It's a huge accomplishment for these kids.
Sacrifice not just for them, but the families.
For the whole family.
For the whole family.
Siblings, parents, aunts, uncles, everybody. Yeah. So we're called the Needles Military Moms, but really we're the Needles Military supporters. We're the community, the aunts, the uncles, the sisters and brother. I mean, we're everybody coming together to support our hometown heroes and their families.
Yep, support for the family as well, because that's big.
And oftentimes, we'll have like a new mom in, their son just went to basic training and say they're in the Army, right? And so we'll set them up with a seasoned Army mom. Okay, this is how you use Sandbox, and make sure you get on this Facebook page. This is the support system that you need.
All the stuff that you guys probably didn't have when you
we didn't know.
were facing.
Yeah, we didn't know. So we try to to set up different people to just kind of be a big mom, little mom, big sister, type of thing.
Well, as well as support them when they're out there, right? How many do you have from Needles currently?
We have 39 hometown heroes in our program currently.
In our little hometown of Needles.
Yes. Yes,
39.
exactly. Yes, we have 39. We've had, kids go in and come out since we've been in, and we get to, when their banners come down, when they get out, we take their banners down and
give it to them?
we give it to them. That's their kind of, our appreciation to them.
Yeah.
And they hang them in their garage or whatever,
Yeah,
and
that's a proud moment.
it's a
Do you
6-foot
guys do
banner.
a ceremony for them? or
We
just-
haven't done a ceremony. We just kind of do it more like a one-on-one, more personally. But
I bet they are very overwhelmed when they come out. So I'm sure a one-on-one is nice.
yeah.
Through that time, you guys send boxes and care packages for them as well, correct?
Yeah, so we've partnered with Arrow Heart, which is the nonprofit organization through Arrowhead Credit Union, and they do 50 boxes for us for Christmas.
Nice.
And so we have 39 kids in there, so we'll send, we have one of our hometown heroes is in Germany, so we're going to send him several boxes so that he can share it with his, so that's just kind of, what we do if, we've had people in and their roommate don't have family support, we'll send them a box. So it's just a nice
Well,
thing.
they're probably like, oh, wait, let me let my moms know that we need a few more.
Yeah, so we do that. And then Donna had a great idea. We do Easter baskets.
Oh,
Yeah.
who doesn't love a little
Yeah.
Easter basket?
Yeah, so we do
Well,
Easter
'cause,
baskets.
I mean, who only knows where they are, right?
Yeah, they're all over.
Right.
They're all over the world.
And who doesn't love a bag of chips?
Yeah,
Everybody.
No, there's some really nice things in those boxes from Arrowhead, and we do a pretty good box too.
Yeah.
It's really nice, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. The kids love it. They just love getting the mail and a little bit of attention, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, and then all of the supplies that come from our boxes are from our community. Our community has been so overwhelmingly generous.
Well, let's just say that Needles shows up. I mean, if you've
Yes,
ever been to a sports event, you know that is fact.
Yes.
So I am not surprised that,
Yes.
they have shown up for your town heroes.
Yeah, what we did this past year was we did an Amazon registry.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was Louis, the mail guy. He was like, "What are you buying?" I said, "What is going on here?" I said, "Everybody keeps buying it. We put on there, everything."
I would say that's
everything
what's
you can
meant
think
the
of.
most to me
Yeah,
is
so amazing.
just the generosity of the community.
It's unreal.
It really is. It's amazing.
Well, I'm sure to start with this idea of what's possible and then to have it impact like that.
It's amazing.
When we first started in May 22, we started having people come and bring in checks. And they were just, so, I mean, every dollar counts. They were so generous. So they would come in and we would try to post them on Facebook and.
They'd be like, no.
Yeah, they would say no, or so I would ask them, this one gentleman came in and he gave me a check for, a large dollar amount. And I was like, oh, well, did you serve? Like, I'm asking him, if he wants, ketchup or something. And I was like, did you serve? And he's like, hell yeah, I served. I was drafted in Vietnam. And I got choked up and I was like, okay. I said,
where do I start?
I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, And he's like, no, I just, he told me his draft number and everything. And I got teary-eyed. I was like, I know how scared my daughter was to go in. She was terrified. And it was her idea. Right. These brave men back in that time, women too, they were,
drafted.
It wasn't their idea.
Right.
Some of them that just got married. And it's like, okay, you're going to war.
Are you trying to make me cry?
But it was just so emotional. I had never really, I'm embarrassed to say, I never really considered it.
You'd probably seen that man year after year.
Yeah, and I never.
At every event, right?
Yeah, I've known him my whole life.
Yeah.
He lived one street over and down the end, and it was
with
just
no social media, then we don't really know their stories. And
No.
a lot of the Vietnam vets, they really don't share a whole lot. It's very personal, and I respect that, whatever that is, but I also want to show them respect.
Yeah.
So we love serving the veterans breakfast.
That's what we're doing this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend is the veterans breakfast, and we just love saying thank you to them and showing them the appreciation, even if it was in 1970, it was huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and we just want to honor them. So this breakfast we're having is this Saturday, November 9th at Santa Fe Park. It starts at 8 a.m. and it's a free complimentary breakfast to any veteran. All you have to do is say, I'm a veteran. There's no proof, no, just I'm a veteran. They get a free breakfast. We're going to have a ceremony there. We have guest speakers coming out, to talk about their experience, and it's a great event. We did it last year was our first year. We have a little parade, and it's a nice way to honor the veterans.
Yes.
And
has it taken you in so many different directions that you didn't even realize where it was going to go?
I would say emotionally, yeah. And learning and hearing some stories and different things, it's been interesting. Yeah,
I bet.
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even, you don't stop to think about the drafted kids back in the day.
No.
I mean, you just assume everyone has,
No.
the right to say yes or no.
No, I
but they
spoke
didn't.
to a wife. She had just got married to her husband. He was drafted. She took him to the airport. She was crying so hard that her eyes were swollen shut, and she was running into the walls after she dropped him off because she didn't know if she was ever going to see him again. The love of her life.
Yeah.
18 years old.
So yeah,
Just
many
married.
Just
stories, and I love hearing them. Actually, if they're willing
Yeah.
to share, we'd love to put them on our Facebook page. We want to give any kind of credit, recognition to any of the kids, big or small, whatever they're doing. It's a life skill they're learning there.
Yeah.
And I another thought I have is I want futuristic thinking for our younger ones in high school. I want them to look up at that banner and say, "There's options." My first two went to college. My youngest said, I don't think college is for me. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? She said, join the Air Force. And I'm like, oh.
Okay. Dad's gung ho, right? I get it.
So, but it's an opportunity because college isn't for everybody.
Right.
And like Lindsey was saying earlier, we want our kids to go. We want them to come back, but we want them to spread their wings and have experiences. And the military is an amazing way to do that.
Yeah, and we have our Needles kids all over the world right now.
Yeah.
All over the world. And they're experiencing different things and different cultures and different food, and they're going to come back home and share a little bit with us.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity.
And there's
great.
even more. My nephew right now, Aiden Shaver, he's one of our banners. He's in the reserves. So he lives in Wisconsin. He's still in the reserves. And you get bonuses, you get health insurance, and you serve 1 weekend a month.
Wow.
So
he
it continues while he's finishing his schooling to provide benefits for his family. So there's just so many options out there that we want the locals to know about.
Yeah. We talked earlier about the fact that college can be paid for through these programs.
Yes.
Numerous different things.
My son-in-law, he just finished his master's. So he's doing that. My daughter's in the process
Well,
of
let's just talk
doing her
about that.
master's.
You both have son-in-laws that are also enlisted.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So now it's a whole family.
Yes.
Which is even more challenging and scary, I am sure.
Yes. Mine are in Guam, so that's But I also just recently had the amazing experience to go to Guam. I got to go on the Air Force base and the Naval base. It was beautiful. Really neat experience, and you just really even appreciate more because there's so many military families out there. And I got to see it firsthand on the base, so it was really neat.
So we have a funny story. Actually, Dawn and I, it's a related story. My brother-in-law was stationed in Guam, and Aiden, her nephew, was stationed in Guam. So my brother-in-law is from the East Coast and didn't know Aiden, whatever. So they worked together there. They both came to Needles for a graduation party that we were hosting at our house.
Oh, they never even knew.
And they didn't know that.
Until then?
Yes. And they're like, what are you doing here? Yeah. So the military world is very small.
Yeah.
So it's a small world.
Gosh, what's the chances of that?
Yeah. So
Well,
it
and to
just,
have Brooklyn out there in that same,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
yeah. So it's quite it's neat. And we do, the city of Needles is really supportive of our efforts too, and they do hang our banners on their light poles for free. They do that for us, and we are really appreciative of that.
Yes.
Because we
Well,
don't
and
have,
I'm sure a big cost comes with the banners. The wind, obviously, we're dealing with it
Let's
today.
not forget our sun in the summer.
Yes. So I'm sure there's challenges that come with that as well, and costs.
Yes.
Frustrations as well, but it's well worth it. We have to change them out and that kind of stuff. So that's why, again, we greatly appreciate the donations. We can get them reordered right away and get them back.
And every donation is valuable. Any dollar amount is great. I mean, the hardware to hang the banners is $200, and then
Just the hardware.
Then the banners are $70. So when a windstorm comes and knocks it down,
Are you guys just like,
Donna and I
"Oh,
were driving around crying, you know, like,
Do you guys climb up there and do
I wish I
them?
could.
if we had the hardware, we would get up there.
So that I'm sure is always also
Yeah.
costly as well.
Yeah, so
or
we're-
happening to have somebody do that.
Yeah, so we're replacing banners monthly. Monthly. I bet, how many you think? 5 or 6 a month?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
the wind and the sun is not nice to them here, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. And I love driving down and seeing my own daughter, so I know the other parents
Yeah.
do as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, taking pictures of it. And, you know,
Absolutely. I'm sure everyone that comes and visits,
Yeah.
you know, takes
Yeah.
the pictures. I know that you don't see that everywhere.
No.
It is really a special thing that we have, you know, here and in Bullhead that we make a big deal about them.
Yeah.
You know, they are our hometown heroes. I know that there's a special story behind this plant that we have here.
Yes, so Talana Wade is one of our hometown hero moms and military moms, I guess I would say. And her son Jace, when he went to boot camp, her sister actually took her a plant, not this plant, but this flag was in the plant that she took to her, like the very week that Jace went to basic training. So that is a very special flag right there. And I mean, as all of our American flags are, but that's very special to Talana.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And Talana is going to be spearheading our Festival of Trees here at Palo Verde College. So we're going to have a tree set up there, and we're going to display photos of our hometown heroes of the present and hometown heroes of the past. So if anybody wants their family member on that tree, all we need is a picture, and we'll
and
decorate
they don't
it
have
there.
to be local. It could be any veteran.
Now it could be mostly our hometown heroes here, but
Any veterans?
we love it. Yeah, we love all the veterans. You know, I mean, just like the breakfast. I mean, it's not just Needles veterans. It's any veteran in our area that wants to come is invited. So the same with the tree. Any veteran that wants to be on it, any service person, we want to just flood that tree and show our appreciation to our servicemen and women. I mean, they're just amazing.
What would you say to that mom who is in that moment right now where their child is like, when I graduate, I'm going off into the military? Like, what do you say to them? Where does that start?
I would
Tough.
Yeah.
I always just say process. Feel your feelings, whatever they are, because it's a lot. So however you express them, but don't just hold them in. You know.
And your
Or
feelings
else
are
you're burning
valid.
stuff, right?
Yeah, or you're lighting your shoes on fire.
Yeah.
Not knowing why. By the way, the fire department frowns on that thing.
They don't really appreciate that either.
Like I said, I would encourage them to turn that negative energy into something positive. Join us, serve.
Yeah.
We do all kinds of things. Memorial Day, another shout out to Kathy McConnell. She runs the whole Memorial Day, and she puts a flag on every tombstone of veterans and military personnel rather, and it's amazing. So let's take that energy and all of that and like hang out together and do a positive for the community. So things like
Nobody
that.
stands alone.
That's right. Exactly. So I guess that would be my words. Hey, call us if you need just to cry on the phone for a minute.
We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
We have time.
Send us your kids' pictures. Like do all do
Yeah,
all.
we
the
want to
things.
brag about it. Yeah, we
It
want.
made me goosebumps. I would assume that is for any mom, near, far.
Yes.
I'm
Call
sure
us.
not every mom has the support that you guys have created in our local towns.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're not afraid if you need help, call, right?
Yeah, when Riley went in, we had Marianne Jones came up to me, and she was so supportive throughout the whole time. She just came alongside me and was so supportive. Keith was super supportive to Joe, and it was just like we had these two, this husband and wife that wanted to be our support system, and now we want to support somebody else. Like, let us support you. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want to support the families and the kids.
Especially going through those times of birthdays or holidays when you're not,
And you
just can't be with them.
You just can't be with them.
Yeah. And some of them get deployed from anywhere from 9 months to a year. You don't get to talk to your child as often as you would like. They're on a ship. They're on an island. You don't get to talk to them. You don't get to tell them happy birthday. And the holidays go by, and you miss them.
Yeah. And that's one thing that we've learned because both of our daughters are in the Air Force, but our Navy kids, they can't get boxes, or they can, but their area is so
a little more
small.
tricky.
Their area is so small that they're like, well, can you just save my box till I get home, or something like that.
like, yes, we can.
So sometimes we get to send a box if they give us the okay, you know, and we sent a couple of boxes over to the Middle East, and that was emotional for me because I was like, oh man, I know where they are. I know, and that's scary, you know. So, but it was nice. But a lot of them they don't have the room.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure it's a lot of.
So we send them letters.
Yeah.
And you know, and we partner a lot with the elementary school. They'll do and
So they get a piece of it.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
really starting to train them to understand
Yes.
the importance of.
you know, what's a hometown hero, you know, and so they'll
And they
write
write
them.
the cutest things.
They
Those
do.
are my favorite. I love getting those back. They write some really cute things.
Yeah.
And they draw little pictures, and we include those in the boxes for the military people to look at.
And so when we do the Run for the Wall with the Needles Chamber of Commerce, we have hundreds of coloring pages that the elementary school kids did, and those veterans that run, you know, go from, you know, California to Washington D.C. on their motorcycles, they love them. They take them. They want to take the coloring papers because the kids do such a great job, and they just love that. They love to feel
Something simple,
Yes,
right?
yes. Everything counts.
Yeah.
Everything counts.
If somebody wanted to help or donate or support you guys in any way, how would they get a hold of you?
So we have a Facebook page, Needles Military Moms. You can reach out to us through direct message there, or you can call us, our cell phones. My cell phone number is, I think it's in the description, but it's 760-219-1287. You can contact us there. You can contact Donna.
Yep. A lot of through Messenger is probably the easiest, but like I said, we take phone calls, text messages, usually text messages so we can kind of see who's calling because unknown numbers, but we always get back to you because we appreciate it so much. So,
Yep. Yeah, and it's just, we love to talk to people. So we're available. You know, we want people to know that we're available. We want to support you, and we appreciate when you support us. And sometimes you can support us financially. You can support us by sending people our way that, you know, that maybe don't know about the program. Maybe, you know, their son went in the military 6 months ago, and I didn't even know about Needles Military Moms. Like, hey, we want to put your kid on a banner.
Yeah.
We want to send them a box. We want to send them a postcard. You know, like,
We would like to stop.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a way that you can support us too. Is, you know, by you know, spreading the word.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you guys have a certain story of a hometown hero that's come back and just was like, oh my gosh, I got your package at such and such time and it changed, you know?
They send us pictures of them opening them. That's even better.
Yes.
You're like winning.
Yes, Gunnar Pell, I love that kid, and he had a really good. Just has sent me a picture, and we encourage that. We want to post them. We want, you know, the parents love seeing it, the community loves seeing it.
Yeah.
And so we encourage if you get your box or you have anything to share, you know, some amazing pictures from overseas that people here don't normally get to see.
We had one of our kids was in Qatar, and when he got the color sheet, and it was, I think the kid's name was Brody, and so he wrote back, because, you know, we always put our return address on there, so he wrote back, "Dear Brody," and he sent money from Qatar. You know, so wanted to show what it looked like there. So I mean, different things like that, you know, we have patches. Kyle Hernandez gave us a patch from his unit, which is really cool, you know, so I mean, like, you know, it matters. They're just, you know, some of the people, they'll take all of their goodie, because it's a big box of stuff, you know, just all kinds of goodies. They'll take it to, you know, where they work, and they'll share it with everybody. So it's just a neat, you know,
you're not
like,
just impacting them, you're really impacting so many different people.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure it's nice for each family who has a child out there to know, you know, that they're not alone. Their child is getting gifts from home, and to just have that support. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for being amazing. You know, in lieu of Veterans Day, I was just like, we have to go see the girls. So thank you for giving us time today.
Thank you, Christy.
Yeah,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Christy.
Hey guys, shop local, support local. Make sure you get the girls out a message if you have any questions, concerns. I sent them a message within a few minutes. I had an answer.
Right here in my phone.
Thank you guys. Have
Bye-bye.
a good day.
Thank you.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all served.